LeBron James was crowned, named MVP for Team USA men's basketball team throughout the whole entire tournament, I guess you would say. But with that being said, man, if you had to pick, man, would you have LeBron James as your MVP for the Olympics for
Go ahead.
basketball?
Go ahead, see. Tell us why he's the MVP.
Hey man, did you watch the games? Y'all preparing, man. LeBron James brought something to that team that nobody else on that team could have brought. That could have only been compared and rivaled by Steph Curry. The aura that he brought to that team. By him being on that team, everybody on that team felt like they were going to win. Even when they were down, they felt like they were going to win. And he played the best overall on the Olympic team and in the entire men's basketball Olympic tournament. So, he's second in points, first in rebounds, first in assists. I'll put it out there. He was first in turnovers, wasn't he? I know y'all gonna say it. But yeah, if he's first and second in those other ones, guess what? The turnovers don't matter, especially when they won. And so I look at you take LeBron James off that team. There's no way they come back from 15 in the fourth quarter to Serbia. There's no way they come back. They don't even think they can come back. Now they're thinking about what a letdown they were. And I know he didn't lead the comeback far as points, but keeping the team together and having them all on the same page, making those assists to where Curry could hit those threes. I mean, what you mean? He's out there. He's a 39-year-old man out there rebounding, playing defense, shut Jokic down at the end of the game. Guess how many points Jokic scored when he took over Gardner? A big 0. So we're not gonna act like LeBron James isn't the MVP. I'm not gonna take no LeBron slander today. It's not gonna happen. Especially when it's so obvious that he was the MVP of it. Anything else, you have to be a hater to say anything else.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr.
I
Box
guess,
Office.
I guess I'll be a hater.
That's your cue, hater.
Telling the truth is not hating. That's this generation that's came up with that stuff. That if you tell the truth, it's hating. So I'll go ahead and tell the truth. First off, he was first in turnovers, first in shots missed, and he still didn't finish leading scorer. So that tells me that's terrible. He also might have played good defense against Jokic on like 2-3 possessions. Other than that, he was being garbage on defense.
Hold on.
Beat by a bunch of
possessions at what point of the time? What point of the game? Because what point of the game were those 2 or 3 possessions?
Last 3 minutes.
Okay, so like you like to say, those are crucial times. It doesn't matter about all these other times during the game, but at the last 3 minutes, you can hold the best player in the world, according to you, to 0 points, being undersized. That's got to count for something.
Well, he's your best player too. That's what you ranked him at the end of the season. But
I don't know, man. Apples being apples. I see LeBron won, so.
Well, he did, and he should win. He had 11 All-Stars. He should win. So I'm not impressed by him winning this gold at all. He should win. He's got the most All-Stars in Olympic history. He should definitely not be MVP. Anyone who thinks that is delusional. It's not who's got the best stats around. That's not what MVP means. It's not who's most consistent. MVP means most valuable. When they needed to biggest moments, it was Steph Curry. They do not beat Serbia without Steph Curry in that game. What did he make? 9 threes that game? Are you serious? He saved Team USA.
Hold up. How many games did they play in the Olympics?
I don't know, 6 or 7, but I know LeBron was not the best in any game.
He was
literally any game.
All 6 or 7 though.
Yeah, that's how I know you're delusional. He
He
was not the
was in
best.
all 6 or 7
He
of them.
was not the best in any game.
Which one of them did he have a bad game?
I didn't say he had a bad game. He did not play. He was not the best in any of them.
I'm
That's the
asking,
difference.
I'm asking a question though. Which one of them did he have a bad game?
I don't think he had a bad game.
Okay, now put that same question on Steph.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. These are bigger moments. This is what mattered.
That's a big moment.
When they needed a escape, they went to Steph. Steph saved them. They do not beat Serbia without Steph. They don't beat France without Steph.
They
Steph
don't
led,
matter.
Steph led the team in scoring. He was the most clutch player. When they needed a bucket, they went to Steph. At times they went to Durant, but the last two games they went to Steph. It's most valuable. Who did they need when times were rough? They needed Steph. Steph was the best player out there. He grabbed them out of holes nonstop. It is what it is, and LeBron's used to this. He owns them in the finals. Steph smacked them around in the finals a bunch of times. But LeBron's used to this. He knows who to defer to. Y'all know as well. Y'all watched all those finals. So look, the most valuable. This isn't who's most consistent, who had played around all around the games. This is most valuable. When they needed a bucket and they needed to escape these two biggest games, they went to Steph Curry. They did. It is what it is. But I will say, I never have really added when I talked about best players all the time, I've never really mentioned the Olympics on anybody's resume because USA should beat everybody. But if anybody added to their resume, it was Steph. Who benefited the most from these Olympics? It was Steph. He was the most clutch player and best player in the biggest moments in this Olympics. So to me, the words most valuable I saw down the stretch, the last two games, it was Steph.
Last two games. You
I got a
just
question
said
for
The two
y'all.
biggest games.
I got a question for y'all
they
because
get to those games without LeBron.
I was about to ask that. Do
They
you
don't
think
win it
that they
without
win
Steph.
without? No, I'm saying okay. So do you think that they win without Steph? See,
Do I think they win those games? Those
do
two
you think they
games?
win the gold medal without Steph Curry?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know what games he was watching. I don't
Hey,
know what
okay.
games.
So Yvonne, do you think they win the gold medal without LeBron?
Yes.
Okay.
Look, it's about who replaces them. If LeBron's not on the floor, who is? It's Tatum. Tatum can do what LeBron did in those moments. You know what LeBron did in the fourth quarter of that France game? 2 points, 4 turnovers. He was irrelevant. You don't think Tatum can give me 2 points and 4 turnovers in a
But I
fourth?
think
How many
okay.
rebounds you have? How
Okay,
many
but
assists you have?
I think he had 1 rebound in the fourth.
well, I'll
How
say
many
this.
assists?
I'll say this though. See, I think y'all both right and y'all both wrong. If you really want me to be honest with y'all, I think y'all
Well,
both
who's
right
the
and y'all both.
MVP in your eyes then? If you had
That's
a vote,
that. I'm gonna pick one for sure. I think that they don't win without LeBron for sure. I think that y'all are devaluing how good he played defensively. I know people scored on him,
I'm
but
not.
we're not about to sit there and act like he didn't play great defense. We're not doing that. And
The
I actually
39
agree
year
with
old.
C. I actually agree with C on the aura of LeBron. It's like I will say, like, it felt like he willed them. Like he had them still believing that he could win the game even when they were down. Joel Embiid played well against
Serbia.
Serbia in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, he played really well. But I will say this: see, as much as I think LeBron, they don't win without LeBron. If I had to give it, I would give it to Steph. Just what he did
No
in those
doubt.
last two games, because you can have a great regular season, and that's
Right.
one thing. And I know it's not regular season; I know it's an entire tournament. But when the chips are down, the way that guy played the last two games, it was just insane, insane. And I'm not taking that away from LeBron. They needed LeBron because I don't think Tatum would have did what Bron did. Because not that Tatum's not talented, but Bron, Steph Curry, KD, they just looked better than everybody else to me out there. Even though KD didn't play as much as I thought he should have played, that's my preference. They just looked at it like another level. Joel Embiid had his ups and downs. Anthony Davis had his ups and downs. Everybody had their ups and downs, even Booker. But to me, the guy, when the chips were down, I just felt that took over the games when needed was Steph Curry. So I would have gave him the MVP. That's
Let me
not
ask
the
you this.
knock LeBron, though.
Let me ask you this, and I'm not disputing what you're saying. Steph Curry, he did exactly what Steph Curry was put on his team to do, right?
Right?
Exactly. But let me ask you this. We just talked about LeBron's aura. LeBron's aura is that I'm not going to come over here to these Olympics and lose. Had Steph not been there, you don't think LeBron would have found a way for them to win?
Nah, I think Steph Curry, we talked about this. As much as LeBron's aura, we're not gonna act like Steph don't have an aura. Steph
I
scares you to
see him as
death.
well.
Steph scares you to death. Once he crosses half court, it's like I'm gonna go guard you. Steph has this aura about him as well. So I don't think they win without Steph Curry. I don't think they would win that the gold medal without Steph Curry. Steph
But
Curry
the,
just brings
Uh,
something different to the game.
and the way
well,
they played, I don't think they win with either one of them being off the team.
As far as the MVP goes, if it were my choice to pick the MVP, I'm going with Steph Curry. You talking about 36 points in the semifinal game, 9 3-pointers. He hit 4 3-pointers in the last 2:43 of that game. So if it wasn't for Steph heroics in that game, no matter how good LeBron played, uh, it they would have lost that game if Steph Curry didn't show up in that last 2:43, and then in the finals dropped 24 points. You look at that game, you had guys like LeBron and KD deferring to him to shoot the damn ball. Like you have guys like
Leave
LeBron,
him to
Kevin
shoot
Durant,
over.
and then you see LeBron and KD and Devin Booker doing that night and throughout the towards the end of that game,
Yeah,
man. And
that's the
yeah,
moment. I'm with you.
and
That's the
and I think Steph Curry also had one of the best shots in Olympic history, man, with the step
hmm
back, two guys taller than him, and just pulling up like that, man. And just during the
That's
pivotal,
some good points.
just the pivotal moments of that game, though, man. It's, it was Steph Curry during those times and those pivotal moments of that game. It was Steph Curry, and I do think that he deserved MVP. I'm not saying LeBron didn't deserve MVP because LeBron was pretty much consistent. I think he averaged uh 8 rebounds, 6 assists. He had a triple doubles a couple games, but if it was my pick, I got to go with Steph Curry, man. That was the one for me.
So, in that same game y'all talking about, LeBron had 14 points, 10 assists,
That's
and
a
6 rebounds.
fact. Fact.
So let me ask you this. I understand, I definitely understand Steph coming through in a clutch. But my point is, why is Steph on that team? To do that. Why is LeBron on that team? To have them in the position to where Steph can do that. LeBron played consistent and was the best player on the game all the way up until Steph could do that. That's what it is. That's why he's the MVP. Because without him having it there, where was Steph for the first 3 quarters?
At first off, Embiid was around. Embiid had more points than LeBron. So let's not act like LeBron did all the work up until that point. Embiid
I'm
was
having more points on me. All right, he had more points than LeBron. No, he didn't.
against Serbia. Yeah, he did.
I didn't say Serbia. I said France. So and in that game that we just talking about, we're talking about France. So um LeBron had 14, 10, and 6. That's a double-double. He kept it within reach. Every time you turn around, he was making a big play, whether it be a dime assist to somebody, a good rebound, a great defensive play. He was doing that. And that wasn't just that one game. That was all 6 or 7 games they played in the Olympics. So that's why he's the MVP of the Olympics. It's
He
not for
wasn't the best player in any game though.
that, bruh. I hear you saying he's not the best player.
If you're gonna be MVP, you got to be at least best player at least 2 of those 6 games. He wasn't the best player at any of them.
Tell me why he wasn't the best player.
What do you mean? Why? I just told you. Steph
So
Curry.
let's just go through it. Who was the best player in the first game they played? Who they played?
I think it was Bam Adebayo, right?
Bam Adebayo was the best player. Should he have been the MVP?
To me, the best player in that first game was Durant. Missed 1 shot, 8 for 9 off the bench.
And he had 22 points. But how many did LeBron have?
But this
21. But how many rebounds did LeBron have? How many assists did LeBron have?
How many turnovers? How many missed shots?
How many turnovers did Durant have? How many missed shots did Durant have?
Less.
So what? He didn't have as many rebounds or assists. So
exactly. So it equals out, and then the points determine Durant had more.
It doesn't equal out.
It does.
Hey,
at the
positive is always more than a negative.
At the end of the day, man. At the end of the day, man, when it comes to this USA basketball run, we're always gonna. For me, I'm always gonna remember Steph Curry in that Serbia game and Steph Curry's heroics in that game. That's just me.
And I'm gonna add this to y'all. This is why and I'm not, like I said, I'm not knocking Steve for the way he believes in and LeBron obviously won it. But the other games for the most part were blowouts. The USA won. The games that they needed to do, what they had to do, to me, Steph Curry just showed up a little bit more. And that is the
do you get to those games without LeBron?
Yeah.
The early games.
Yes.
The early games.
Yeah. The game they get there without LeBron.
No, that was at the beginning. That wasn't even about
them, bro.
Yeah, that wasn't even about that.
I'm not even talking about that one, but that one too. Not even talking about that one, but that one as well.
Well, the one you're talking about, they definitely didn't need LeBron.
They did need LeBron. You don't remember
when
them?
They won by almost 20?
They won by 20, bro.
They almost won by 20.
You don't remember them coming all the way back and cutting the lead to 8 points, and LeBron going in and making a big play to stop that nonsense.
Yes, they'd be just fine. They'd be just fine.
Yeah, but like they won by 17, 26, 21, almost 30. The games wasn't close enough to say that. Like, to me, like that doesn't change it for me. The game that does say a lot, the last 2. And I just feel like Steph Curry just stepped up in those moments. And like Keo said, I love the fact that what Keo said. And I'm gonna give people their flowers when they say what they say. But the moment you're gonna remember the most is that Steph Curry shot, and when he goes like that, that's the moment of the Olympics.
And it's not like Steph just made that one shot. No. Steph was the go-to guy for the last 5 minutes of the game, the last 2 games. Like
that's why he's on the team.
I agree.
Dude. I don't think none of us rank Steph Curry as a top 5 NBA player, man. I outside of me, I had Steph in my top 5. I don't think nobody had Steph in the top 5.
Stop. Listen, man. Whether he's in the top 5, I think this Olympics showed you a lot because everything. The way I gauge it is Steph's team isn't as good as it used to be. So we want to rank him lower because he didn't have
a lot of people may disagree with me on this one, man. But I think this Olympic performance by Steph. It kind of reminded me what Kobe did, man, against when they played when they played Spain, man. That was something special. But Steph doing it in 2 games, that was a little different for me.
My thing is, like I said, the way I even rate players is if I'm putting you above him, if I'm putting you above a player, I'm like, okay, well, what would the player below him do? So what would Steph do if he was on the Mavericks? Would they have went to the finals? Absolutely. I feel like you take Luke off, put Steph on there, they go right to the finals, just like he did. You take Tatum off the Celtics, put Steph on there, they go to the finals. And I feel the same way about Bron. You take either one of those players off, they go do exactly what they did. It's not that those teams go exactly what they did because right now Their teams just aren't as good as the other team. And like I gave Yvonne the comparison, I said, okay, well, we saying Jokic is better than Bron. Oh yeah, he dominates Bron. He dominates Bron. He has a better team than Bron. And now, okay, now let's see what Bron does when he has a clearly better team. He beat him 2 times.
Well, it's not the same comparison. Having 11 All-Stars on your team to 0, that's not the same thing. Anthony Davis is better than Jamal Murray. Okay. And if LeBron's better than Jokic and Anthony Davis is better than Murray, then that should be enough to beat him. Right?
Okay. Well, if Jokic is better than LeBron and he's the best player in the world, then it should be enough to beat them, right?
Not with 11 All-Stars. Not the same.